Hello, first-class listeners. Welcome to the Train Stop Podcast. I'm your host, Anastasios Klimos, a.k.a. the Greek Freak. I'm joined today by Spence, Molk. Spence, say hi to beautiful people.
How's it going, everybody?
And we got Nolan, Little Molk, Molkin time. How we doing, buddy?
Oh, we're good. How are you?
Good. Resident Chargers fan joining us. Me and the Molkin time brothers tonight. L Train's out. John's playing 2K.
What's new? What's new?
Freaks night out. Welcome to the podcast. Got a good show in store for you guys today. We're recapping the NFL draft, talking The Last Dance episodes 3 and 4, and sports may be coming back sooner rather than later. Before we get into everything, guys, anything to add?
Nope. No, we're
not.
Not
Podcast for Spencer.
That's like that. The two other co-hosts aren't here because they're just jerking off. I don't know what to add.
I mean, yeah, Logan just I have not heard from him in over 24 hours. It's almost time to put out a missing persons report. John's just playing 2K.
I think Logan is playing cards. I'm almost positive.
You think he's playing cards like his idol MJ?
Okay. He's playing poker.
Like his idol MJ? A little gambling?
Yeah, he's gambling. That's how he's spending his night tonight. He needs a little getaway like Rodman.
You need that little 48-hour excursion. All right, let's start off first with the NFL draft.
What do you
We got some live sports, kind of, I guess. Not really sports, but something new to talk about. Something we could watch as a community. And it actually worked. Do you guys like the video draft, like the online
You're playing
draft?
Adam Schefter right now, Tassos?
Huh?
Are you forgetting about the WNBA draft?
Sorry.
Something that it was the highest. What was it? The highest viewed WNBA draft of all time.
Because nobody else is doing.
By default. I mean, what else? I mean, that's how.
I can't even tell you. I can't name one player drafted.
Was that?
Oh, there's a
Oregon
girl from Oregon.
Yeah. Sabrina. Shout out her.
Sabrina.
That's the only person I know who got drafted.
Other than that, you couldn't pay. If you bet me $1 billion to name one other player, I just couldn't. Sorry.
Yeah, I really couldn't either.
Sorry. It's not. I'm not trying to shit on WNBA. It's just don't follow it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Spencer. Name me another player then. Tell me about the draft. Did you watch the WNBA draft?
Didn't Kobe Bryant's child get technically drafted?
Oh no, well, Spencer.
That was nice. That was a nice tribute.
It was a good tribute, but that doesn't count.
So I watched that. So I did watch part of the draft because I saw that. I saw the other girl who also was in the crash. They retired her jersey too, or showed her jersey getting drafted. So that was nice. I remember that. So there you go. We talked about the WNBA draft for all the diehard WNBA fans. So,
Yes, we did.
but there was another draft which was probably a lot more watched that happened over the weekend.
The most watched.
Most watched draft ever. Did you guys like the new format?
I actually enjoyed it a little bit more than, I don't know, okay, besides the fact that they talked about every, childhood trauma on the face of the planet.
Literally.
If you didn't have a childhood trauma, you couldn't get drafted, basically.
Do you see John's tweet?
No, what was it?
Did you see it, Spencer?
No, I follow 30% of John's tweets because he tweets.
Yeah, it was one of those tweets where John got more than 3 likes. It was actually pretty funny, but it was something about how somebody got drafted and then he gave a little description like their mom was had the flu 4 years ago.
I'm looking it up. You guys talk. What? I actually like the video. I missed some stuff. I missed obviously the #1 overall pick going to the podium and stuff like that. And
no, I like the podium format more, but it was the most viewed draft ever. But I think it was most of that had to do with that everybody's in quarantine, nothing better to do, and there hasn't been sports in so long.
That's what I saw. When I saw those numbers, I'm like, everyone's like, wow, what a crazy – I mean, it was a good draft. I like the setup, but I didn't realize we're literally stuck at home with nothing else to watch. Of course, everyone was going to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm not the craziest college football fan, but there's 3 days of draft, a good 4 rounds where I knew most of the players going. When every other year it's okay, after the first round I have no clue. It's mid-second round I'm just
I wouldn't say that. The dude who was picked 37th to New England, I never heard of him. But
Yeah, dude, what was his name? Kyle Duggar?
yeah. I just never saw him play. I don't know. He was never on TV when I was around.
You know what it was? those tapes that they had, that was Patriots taping the practices there. That was the Pats. It wasn't anybody else. It wasn't live footage. That was Patriots footage, right?
This dude John took way too much. I can't find it.
You probably won't find
You gotta go back. You gotta go scroll down 6,000 times.
it. Actually,
It's all Raiders stuff.
It's like one of those
all about
John
Lynn
John.
Jr. and whoever the other receiver they took from South Carolina. It's just all about the Raiders draft pick.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
it's the top. All right, I'm done. I'm not looking for it. I can't find it.
How many times can you talk about Ruggs in a matter of 30 minutes? I don't know. John's definitely got the record.
Listen, I can't really hate on John too much because I did the same thing. Nolan was on the phone with me when the Pats took Kyle Duggar. But this guy John went so quick from hating a draft pick to loving a draft pick. I've never seen someone switch so fast their emotions.
Because he realizes that they're a Raider and he's got to be a diehard Raiders fan.
There's no way that
Kyle Duggar took me probably a day or two to finally be like, okay, I don't mind the pick.
It's still terrible.
Yeah, I still don't love it. But John was the funniest thing because when they drafted Henry Ruggs, he's texting the group chat, Ruggs? Question mark, tons of question marks. And then I text the chat. I'm like, well, he's actually pretty fast. He's not a bad receiver. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, I like this pick.
Do you like that pick though? Do you like the Henry Ruggs pick over Jerry Jeudy and over CeeDee Lamb?
Oh no. I like Henry Ruggs as a receiver, but he wasn't the best receiver available.
This is the only reason I think they picked Henry Ruggs is because they've watched Tyreek Hill bend them over for the past 3 years.
But he's also been doing that with Patrick Mahomes for the past 3 years.
2 years. Funny. But
okay, but Tyreek Hill wasn't really on the scene until Patrick Mahomes was on the scene.
True.
Tyreek Hill was more of a punt returning specialist, just like a dude who was just known for being fast, and then Patrick Mahomes came on, and now he's like a top 15 NFL receiver.
How long has Tyreek Hill been in the NFL?
A while, actually. Like 4 to 5 years, I want to say. No?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Is he a D2 guy?
No.
No.
I thought that was on the list.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill was a D2 guy.
I thought he played for some random – hold on.
Yeah, because remember the other day we were having this conversation about Kyle Duggar being D2, and you guys were like,
Yeah,
oh, he's not going to –
I thought he played for Oregon State. That might have been –
So he played for Oklahoma State, and then he went to the university. I think he went D2 to D1.
Oklahoma State. Then he went to the University of West Alabama, which is a D2 school. Did he go – I don't know, dude. I don't know my Tyreek Hill background. I really don't follow people.
He went to community college, then Oklahoma State, then West Alabama, I think.
So
but he was never really a receiver.
He went down?
He's a running back.
Yeah, it was never really – it's really Patrick Mahomes and him kind of made each other what they are.
Yeah.
Well, more Patrick Mahomes made Tyreek Hill, but it's kind of hard not to be dominant when you run a 4-2.
The Raiders kind of took the Bears route where it's like we're just going to draft the one position we suck at, like a lot of them. Like how the Bears have 15 tight ends. The Raiders are like, well, we're just going to draft 5 receivers in this draft class.
I mean –
taking receivers.
That was a receiver-loaded draft.
Yeah, but, I mean, they went over.
That doesn't mean you got to take them all.
Yeah, every time they run, it's like, oh.
Well, who they have in Oakland? Tyrell Williams and Hunter Renfrow? Is that it?
Yeah.
You don't need 12 receivers.
Oh, they got Nelson Aguilar.
Why not? Why can't you? All right, Nelson Aguilar, yep.
Not a bad receiver.
I have a better chance of catching a pass with my hands like this.
Look at LSU with all their receivers. They had 8 of them.
That's college. It's different.
Okay, but you can do it in the NFL.
You can, but I just don't see why at the end of the day, who's still throwing the football for the Raiders?
Derek Carr.
There you go. What's the point of stockpiling receivers when you got a quarterback?
I don't know about you, but every car needs a rug.
So, every car needs a rug, John.
John, like I said, he was just funny. And then they drafted Lynn Bowden. And again, this is the first year ever I watched college football closely because,
everybody hated that pick.
He hated it until I was like, I actually bet on Kentucky like 5 different times and watched their games. He's actually like a Swiss Army knife. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, he's a Raider. Let's go. We got him. And I'm like, you're just shitting on him like a minute ago.
I don't know what John. Wait, what? I don't think that the dude. Every time we talk about college football, the guy's like, "Yeah, I try watching UConn Huskies college football sometimes. And I just can't." Like, how are you supposed to like watch that?
You don't. That's not college football.
In college basketball, it's fine. If you want to watch,
UConn's good. James Bouknight's coming back too.
But college football, only watching UConn, that's torture. Why would you do that to yourself?
No, that's you'd rather watch really competitive high school football.
Exactly. I'll be honest though, this was the most fun I've had in an NFL draft because of the fact I actually watched college football this year, like closely. So like when people
I feel you on that.
People were getting drafted, I'm like, usually I'm like, all right, I looked at the mock drafts and I watched the stuff, and so I know who people are, but like this is the first draft in my life where I'm like, oh, I actually watched him play like 7 games. He's actually pretty nasty. Like I know who that is. I remember this game when he had that catch, or I remember this game when he had that tackle. That was kind of cool. I mean, it made me like day 3. I actually watched for the first time ever because I'm like, all right, where's KJ Hill going? Where is Jake Fromm going? Where's Jacob Eason going? Where are all these guys going?
Yeah, there was a lot of dudes who I knew got picked in like the 4th, 5th round.
Mm-hmm. It was an interesting draft after the first 15 picks. The first 15 picks were the most like
predictable,
the most obvious picks. Yeah, super predictable.
Except for CeeDee Lamb dropping to Dallas.
CeeDee Lamb was that's what I mean. After pick 15 is when people started falling, trades started coming.
How about the Eagles taking Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson?
Oh, that was bad. I'm an Eagles guy too. I like Carson Wentz. I like the Eagles, but oh boy,
the Eagles don't look like they like Carson Wentz taking Hurts in the 2nd round.
Listen, it's all part of the plan.
So what was the whole plan for that? Is Doug Peterson really trying to do like a Taysom Hill type thing with him? Is that like
No. He's doing what I've been saying for.
He's saying a 2-quarterback offense, Spence.
We're doing 2 QB offense.
2 QBs in the field.
Doug Peterson is just listen.
No, I think he needs to rotate them.
No. 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
Bro, I really don't want to watch that.
I am excited. I'm so excited.
Is that deadass what he means? Though?
Yes, because I wanted to clarify, and yes, that's what he means. It's having 2 quarterbacks on the field. Schefter said it. Having 2 QBs on the field at the same time. Both in the pocket, both in shock. So basically, just a little toss over. All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts throws it. Or a little toss back, and Carson Wentz throws it.
I don't like that. You see, I don't want to watch that.
It could be interesting because Jalen Hurts, you could turn into a receiver, too.
Yeah,
like he can be a quarterback / receiver. It's going to revolutionize football.
Yeah, but if I see
shit show for a year, it's going to revolutionize football.
I think they'll revolutionize football. Listen, if this works, now all of a sudden you're going to have quarterback / receiver / running back people coming in the NFL. Versatile football players.
Pretty sure the Dolphins took that quarterback from the Army in like the 6th or 7th round.
He went into the draft as a running back though. Like, didn't he? Like, he had like 2,000 yards rushing. Like,
he's not even like a quarterback.
The Navy.
He has like the most rushing yards in NCAA history or something or some weird stat.
Quarterback.
Yeah, look it up.
Well, he lined up under center. He had like 1,000 yards passing in 7 touchdowns.
So he's not even really a quarterback then.
He wasn't really. He averaged like 250 rushing yards a game in his career.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't really. If they're not using him for the 2 quarterback offense like they said, I don't get the pick. I mean, I know they need a good backup behind Carson because he gets hurt a lot, but a 2nd round pick on a quarterback is for a backup is risky. I don't really get that move, but I don't know. Listen, and also Jalen Reagor, 1st round over Justin Jefferson was. I would have taken Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. That pick was a little. I don't know though, because you don't know until you know, right?
Well, yeah, Reagor's fast and maybe he works. I just think Justin Jefferson was the safer pick. I think he would have been a better target right away for Carson Wentz. What do you guys think about Joe Burrow? Like I said, the first 10 picks were pretty obvious. Joe Burrow, my guy, Joey Burrow, going number 1 overall to the Bengals.
Malcolm Perry's the Navy running.
Right now, Tassos, I'm telling you right now. If Tua doesn't get hurt, doesn't have the hip thing, that would have been a lot tougher pick on a lot of these guys. But I'm happy with the non-tank for Tua and get him at 5 for free because he has a fluke hip injury and he has ankle sprains that he gets surgery on that he doesn't really need to get surgery on. He just does it because he's in college. Like, hey, if I get a franchise quarterback that's supposed to be one of the best of all time at 5, I'll take it.
Okay, but he tries to do like crazy stuff where he'll just run out of the pocket. But if he tries to do that against Khalil Mack, he might die.
Yeah, you just got non-RG3 him, I guess. Like,
yes, he needs to. If he learns to stay in the pocket and not try to do all this crazy stuff, he could be an all-pro.
Carson Wentz does the same shit. Look at him; he gets hurt all the time.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is, Tua needs to not do that.
Can we watch the Carson Wentz slander?
Tassos, that guy diving into the end zone from the 5-yard line, carrying his knee down.
He's a warrior. What can I say? He puts himself out there for the win.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's like exactly right. He doesn't say Ryan Fitzpatrick plays even more aggressive, and you guys love it. But when Carson Wentz does it,
yeah, but Ryan Fitzpatrick
is 40.
The Terminator. That dude's pure metal.
How about that? Dolphins fans forgetting about Ryan Fitzpatrick after drafting Tua.
I did not think this magic.
I think Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter this year. He's got to be, right?
I don't think Tua sees the field this year.
I don't think so either. I wouldn't. If I'm the Dolphins, I don't put him in. Why risk him? You got Fitz magic, baby.
Wait. All right, I got a pick for you, Tassos. I want to see your insight on it. The Jets taking that offensive tackle from Louisville, Becton, with no receivers.
I don't like it.
Jets had a very good draft class, but they still have nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I
understand you got Le'Veon.
Becton's a monster. They needed a tackle, but did they need a tackle more than they need a wide receiver? I mean, they needed a lot. They needed offense.
I would have rather had Jerry Jeudy than Mekhi Becton.
I don't know. Le'Veon Bell would have probably told you he'd rather have Becton than Jeudy.
Yeah, but I thought so the Jets confused me because I thought Le'Veon was done. I thought Le'Veon's on the way out.
He's not.
I don't know. I just listen. They need a tackle. It's position of need. I don't hate Mekhi Becton. I just think that Jerry Jeudy,
big dude,
Henry Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb, one of those 3 guys would have been way better for Sam Darnold than
you can't throw if you don't have anybody blocking for you.
Yeah, but they were good.
You also can't throw if nobody's open.
Exactly. What's the point of being protected when you sit back there and just look around?
They're gonna get open.
Who do they even have at wide receiver right now? Quincy Enunwa?
The Redskins, didn't they?
They got Rashad Perryman. They got
Rashad Perryman.
Quincy Enunwa. Is he still there?
Tampa. That team is made up of all number 3 and 4 receivers. There's not one number 1 receiver on that team.
Jets wide receivers.
It's Quincy Enunwa, Terrell Pryor,
Josh Ducks. They drafted Denzel Mims from Baylor. He's good.
Denzel Mims.
The Baylor guy.
That's right. They took a Baylor receiver.
They had an underrated draft. Who are the Patriots throwing to?
Easy. Why do we got to bring them into it?
Mohamed Sanu, Julian Edelman, and whatever the N'Keal Harry. You can't go back to back. You can't go back to back drafts taking high wide receivers.
No.
Who they have
high enough to take a receiver?
How about I heard the Patriots are front runners for Cam Newton, but that's another story.
I hope not. I saw that.
How about
I hope not.
How about the Dolphins traded for what's his name?
Matt Breida.
The
Dolphins had a good draft.
You guys were pissed. Everybody was pissed saying, "Oh, they didn't take a running back. Oh, they passed on Dobbins."
I thought they were going to get Fournette.
Oh yeah, they did. They did ask about Fournette from Jacksonville.
To be honest, I'd rather have Breida.
It's more of an elusive,
less money. It's less money.
Less attitude, higher motivation.
Well, that's better though.
I mean, yeah, when Fournette's going, he's better.
Yeah,
but
north-south Fournette's better, but, like, out of the backfield, like, as a receiving back,
Breida and Howard is going to be a tough backfield. Oh, my. That team might be good. But then they drafted Austin Jackson as their first tackle. I don't know. He's young.
What is he? He's a project. He's a project. He has a high side. Like, hopefully he, like, turns out. This is where I don't get it, though. I kind of get it because we get 2 first-rounders. Like, we get rid of, like, a Pro Bowler, Laramie Tunsil, and we just draft a tackle with the pick that we got from him.
Yeah, but look how Laramie Tunsil turned out in Houston. He didn't play that great.
Yeah, but he's still a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he had a great season. They extended him. But the thing is, I think the Texans are going to be the worst team in that division.
No, Jacksonville, dude.
Or besides, I think the Titans and the Colts will be better.
Obviously.
I think you could get a pick.
See, you know what? For me, I would say that, but at the end of the day, the Texans have Deshaun Watson.
Okay, but the Colts have Phillip Rivers.
Tassos. This is where I love it too. I love how bad Jacksonville is. You want to know why?
Why? Because you have their pick?
No.
So why are you so happy?
They just got to be a little bit worse than the Patriots.
That's the one problem. Is that here's what I need to happen.
If you don't get the first pick, you're not getting Trevor.
I need Gardner Minshew to have an absolutely explosive season so that they can sit back and go, okay,
I need Gardner Minshew to not come back from his little quarantine road trip.
What?
I hope he just stays in Denver, just loves life out there. He's like, Jacksonville, I just don't want to come back.
Because that's the thing. There's going into the next draft, all these bad teams, none of them need a quarterback. Everyone's got a quarterback except for New England and Jacksonville. So they're our competition.
No, the Colts.
They got Jacob Eason.
Okay.
And the Colts, there is no way the Colts will have a higher pick than New England.
No, they won't. But I think New England will get Fields. I think Jacksonville's going to go legitimately 2-14.
Listen, I wouldn't be upset with Justin Fields. I'd be quite happy with Justin Fields.
Whatever. You guys are a dying dynasty, and I love it.
We're not. The dynasty's over. It's dead.
You're a dying franchise, and I love it.
We're rebuilding, and you know what? We're in the right direction
by trading out of the first round and drafting a second round, a Division II safety.
That's what's going to happen. They're not going to draft a quarterback next year. They're going to trade out of the first round.
They're at the first pick, and they're going to pass on Lawrence.
You know what? I was sitting there on day 3, Sunday or Saturday, whatever day 3 of the draft was. I'm thinking, all right, next year we get the first overall pick, we get Trevor. But I'm sitting here thinking, that bastard Bill, there's no way he's going to do what everyone thinks he's going to do. He's like M. Night Shyamalan, where all of his movies have to have a twist, just because that's who he is. That's how Bill Belichick is. He's like, you know what? Nah, can't do it. I'm going to trade into the 6th round and take the quarterback at North Dakota State University.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
He's unique.
I don't hate the Patriots draft class.
Okay, what if Stidham goes 10-6?
Then he's the quarterback for the future, obviously.
But what if it's like a Matt Castle year? He just goes sick for 1 year and then he falls off the face of the planet.
What if he goes 8-8?
That's my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear, is that Stidham is just good enough to get us to 8 wins, but no further, and we're stuck at 8-8.
That'd be beautiful.
That's the worst position in football to be in. The mediocre, like the Jeff Fisher Rams, 8-8, right in the middle.
You basically have at quarterback right now. Jake Fromm 2.0.
And also the Buccaneers will need to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, but again, they won't. I don't think they'll be high enough to draft one.
Okay, and also I want to talk about that too. What do you think about Jameis Winston going to the Saints?
I like it. He's taking the Teddy Bridgewater route, backing up Drew Brees for a year.
I think Brees is out of there soon. Didn't he sign with NBC?
Huh?
Brees already signed with for
2 years from now when he retires, they own his rights. But
Winston might be good in 4 in New Orleans.
He's only on a 1 year deal. It all depends. He wants he's on a 1 year deal to learn real quick, and then he's out.
So you're telling me if Carolina doesn't go 5-11 next year, they don't draft a quarterback?
They have a lot of money in Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. I don't think why you think they're gonna take a quarterback if they have Teddy.
They go 5-11.
5-11's not that bad. That's not that bad. They're
Okay,
a
but
rebuilding team anyway.
they're not going to pass on Trevor Lawrence. I don't care. Teddy Bridgewater.
In what world does 5-11 get you the number one pick?
Okay, but say the Patriots go 6-10, they go 5-11.
They still wouldn't have number one.
I still find it hard to believe whoever has the first pick, they're going to have the worst record in the NFL. Despite if they have a quarterback, I find it hard to believe that they'd pass on Trevor Lawrence after having the worst record in the NFL.
If the Arizona Cardinals, let's say the worst thing, I'm trying to think of a team that has like
a Cardinals with Kyler Murray, I still think if they lose 14 games.
Okay, what if the Texans? What if the Texans, like you said, are the worst? What if they absolutely collapse and they go like 3-13? They have Deshaun Watson. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence.
Deshaun Watson's out next year.
Yeah, he's a free agent. He's gone.
He's going.
He's not going to New England. I'll tell you that.
Listen, I don't know.
And also, if the Texans.
I hope he does. I hope you guys take that $100 million cap space that you have next year and put $40 million into it, Deshaun Watson.
Literally, it's going to be 40.
It's going to be $40 million.
Is Dallas even extended Dak?
Not yet. He's on the
franchise tag. He's going to be $40 million.
Hey, they might not pay him. Listen, the Dolphins have the Texans pick, so if they go 3-13, it's still a Dolphins pick.
That's true. But again, they got Tua. You're going to take Trevor Lawrence and Tua back-to-back.
You don't do that, but I'm just saying you trade it.
Don't draft Jamar Chase out of LSU, the best receiver. They'll be the best receiver in NFL history.
You think so?
Mark my words, 20 years from now when we pull this up and Jamar Chase is better than Jerry Rice. No one will
That's a bold take. That is bold. Are there any other picks that you guys like? Who are the biggest winners of the draft?
Oh, the Chargers with Justin Herbert.
I'll give you your minute in the sun to talk about the Chargers. Go ahead.
Justin Herbert is what's wrong with Justin Herbert other than the fact that he's a little inaccurate? You give him a little help, he could be a 12-4 quarterback this year.
He's a high risk, high reward quarterback.
Yeah, the only problem with Justin Herbert is his accuracy.
He's a high risk, high reward. He has potential to be a high reward, but he also could be a high risk.
And then we took a captain on defense in Kenneth Murray.
I love that.
And we want to thank the Patriots in advance for trading us that pick.
When it comes to skill players, I think the Colts getting Jonathan Taylor in the second round is a big pick. Like, that's a big win.
And Michael Pittman from USC.
Oh, my God. The Ravens adding J.K. Dobbins.
And Patrick Queen.
I fucking hate the Ravens, dude. Like, seriously, like, you have Mark Ingram. You have Lamar.
Okay, but you guys won out of that because you just got Breida for, like, free.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys won. Like, you didn't want I'm not a Dolphins fan, but you didn't want J.K. Dobbins when you could have got him.
It's just the fact that the Ravens got him.
Yeah, dude. But they don't –
It makes their offense so one-dimensional, though, Tassos.
Yeah, exactly.
Their receiving core is still Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, but my thing – see, I'm more afraid of their defense. I'm not a big Lamar guy. I'm not scared of the offense. I'm scared of the defense. Their defense – I don't know if you've seen all the weapons they've added, but not just talking about the draft. I mean,
and they added
Campbell.
Yeah, I was about to say they added Calais Campbell. Their defense is disgusting.
It is. It's
like
half. Most of it's young, and the other half that's older are guys who are like studs on the defense.
They added. Wait, you said they added Calais Campbell, right?
Yeah. And they got Patrick Queen in the first round, who I think is a really solid linebacker.
Oh my goodness, she's definitely that's a steal at 28. They got him at 28, right?
Yeah.
That's a steal at 28.
That's what I mean.
No, want to know the worst draft?
Who?
We need to touch on the Packers. Oh my goodness.
Easily, though. I mean, I think there's no other team that could have compared. They had the worst draft easily.
Yeah, dude. Drafting Jordan Love at 26. I mean, let's be real. You didn't need Jordan Love at 26, and that's just disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers in a way.
I don't even think that's the worst pick.
They traded up to get a quarterback at 26.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the worst pick. I think the worst pick was their second-round pick. They took a running back.
Yeah, dude. They took A.J. Dillon.
They took A.J. Dillon already.
You're one spot on the offense that you need, right? You're one spot that Aaron Rodgers is like, please get me another wide receiver, please. He said, fuck you, I'm getting you another quarterback, and I'm fucking getting you another.
They had Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams.
You have a top 3 running back in the NFL, and you said, fuck you, I'm drafting.
And then a good backup.
Mm-hmm. So now they got a third-string running back, and they got a second-string quarterback. when they needed a wide receiver and a tight end.
It's just terrible. They just don't like Aaron Rodgers.
They don't believe in him. I mean, but you know what? Aaron Rodgers is a dick, so I don't really blame him.
Oh my!
This is the thing. This is the whole first round thing where he's only thrown one touchdown to a first rounder. Who was it? Who was it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea who it was, but one touchdown pass to a first rounder.
Mercedes Lewis was the first round tight end.
Could have been. It could have been. And Mercedes Lewis was what, 35 when he did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That just shows me that you haven't invested in Aaron Rodgers. I understand that you get Devontae Adams in the second round, and I understand that like some of these weapons, like Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson,
they had weapons.
Aaron Rodgers made Jordy Nelson.
I don't
Let's
know
slow down.
that take. Jordy Nelson
Let's
was
slow
solid
down.
with the
Jordy
Raiders.
Nelson's a baller.
Jordy Nelson was solid with the Raiders.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
No, he was not. That's a hot.
Did he play 6 games and want to retire?
No. Well, the Raiders are just that bad of a culture. But he played all right when he actually played. He had one game with 2 touchdowns.
But Wes Welker was a baller.
Against the Dolphins.
You tell me Tom Brady didn't make Wes Welker?
No, because Wes Welker played well in Denver.
And Miami.
Peyton Manning. No, he did not play well.
Peyton Manning. Well,
He
no, I
didn't play well in Miami. We gave up Wes Welker for like a 5th round draft pick.
I would say Wes Welker didn't really do anything in Miami.
Okay, well, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski told us that it's not about New England. New England, it's about winning.
That's with the Lions, buddy. I forgot about the Lions. The Lions are going to need a quarterback soon.
No.
They're giving up on Stafford, bro. They're giving up on Stafford.
That's
a mistake. We'll trade you Herbert for Stafford right now.
No shit, you would. It's Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford's the top 5 quarterback in the league. I'll take that dog over anybody.
I know, but they came out. Didn't they come out this year and say that they might take Tua?
Yeah, well, that's because they're kind of in a cross. Because the thing is like they're tired of being 5.
They need to rebuild because Stafford's ahead of everybody else.
Well, he's a win-now quarterback on a team that's kind of rebuilding.
Yeah, he's a win-now quarterback. That's exactly right. That's why we need him.
Now quarterback with a top 10 receiving core, and every other aspect of that fucking team is booty cheeks.
I think the defense got better.
Well, didn't they take DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They got rid of Darius Slay, though. They got Jeff Okuda.
Who's in that division? The Packers, the Bears.
So where did they improve? Where did the Lions improve?
That's a good division this year.
Well, they got Jeff Okuda, which I think is a solid.
They got rid of Darius Slay.
But they added Desmond Trufant.
Okuda's better than Slay. I don't want to disrespect Slay, but Okuda's better.
They have Okuda and Trufant now.
Yes.
And they added James
Hey, don't be surprised when the Lions win 10 games.
Listen, I'm not. I think the Lions are a bubble team for the playoffs. I think they could maybe make it this year if Matt Stafford stays healthy.
Their only issues in there in that division, too. The Vikings are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers, they got – I know you don't like this, but at the end of the day, they got Aaron Rodgers. And
I think their defense and their running game is going to win them games, not quarterback play. But that's just me.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how they made it last year. How do you think they made it 13-3 last year? It wasn't because Aaron Rodgers. He threw 24 touchdowns last year. Tom Brady threw the same amount of touchdowns. They won because Aaron Jones was nasty and the defense played well. And they got lucky.
I hope you know it's hard to have a nasty running back when you have a nasty quarterback. When you don't have a good quarterback, it's hard to have a good running back without having a good quarterback.
He's average now.
Leonard Fournette proved that wrong.
Yeah.
He was the quarterback.
Whoa.
When?
Who was a bad quarterback for the Jaguars that year?
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles is not a bad quarterback at all that year. That was a breakout year for Blake.
Please.
Blake broke out because of Leonard Fournette.
No.
I mean, you can argue that, but
no.
What I'm trying to say is it's hard to have bad and bad. You have to have good or bad and bad.
I'd say Aaron was bad. I'm just saying he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not the guy everyone thinks he is. He's old.
You're a hater. Huh?
Dolphins in the air were really good last year. On the ground, they were like Ryan Fitzpatrick was their.
Yeah. You can be good in the air, but you can't be good on the ground. If you're good, what I'm trying to say is you can be good in the air and not be good on the ground. but it's hard to be good on the ground and not good in the air.
Unless your name is Lamar Jackson.
Because it's a running system. It's a running quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cardinals.
Is there
Cardinals sneaky good pick? Isaiah Simmons at number 8.
Isaiah Simmons is a freak.
The only problem I have with him is he says he plays like 7 positions, but like you can't play 7 positions at once, so it doesn't really. I mean it.
Did they get Buchanan? Because he was kind of like that type of Swiss Army knife on the defense for the Cardinals. Where did he go?
I don't know.
Buchanan?
Yeah, he was like he played like he's like a linebacker and he played safety.
Well, he's kind of like the Dolphins, who they just got from the Patriots. Landon Roberts was kind of like that. He could play fullback, he played linebacker, he could play edge. I mean, Landon Roberts could play a little bit of everything.
Buchanan's on the Giants.
Giants now? Well, that defense.
Giants. That's a bad pick at 4. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't hate the tackle pick at 4. You want to pick a tackle there, fine, but
Jedrick Wills
or Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, I don't like Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas is just a project again. You just can't. You go offensive tackle 4th overall, the first tackle off the board. You want something that's more of a finished product,
Especially for the Giants, they're a team that hasn't hit on obviously Saquon, but what other draft picks recently have they hit on?
Who?
The Giants.
Saquon Barkley.
Besides that.
Oh.
To me, they're a team that you need surefire things.
Daniel Jones.
Huh?
Daniel Jones.
What about that other offensive lineman that they took 2 years ago?
Daniel Jones stops us. Why is that dead silence?
You expect me to sit here and say that was a good pick? We don't know yet. He had 2 good games.
Okay, I think the Giants could potentially draft a quarterback next year when they go 3-13.
Exactly. He's a turnover machine. I don't hate tackle at that draft pick. I just hate the one.
That's what I don't get. I don't know how. You can spend a 4th overall pick. Is that what Danny Dimes went last year for?
6.
I just can't. Besides Carson Wentz, what small school? Duke is a small football school. What small football school would you pick a top 10 overall quarterback?
Oh, Phillip Rivers. He didn't really play at a big football school.
I mean, I know what you're saying. I would, not top 10. Jimmy G was from Eastern Illinois, Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois. But yeah, those guys weren't top 10 picks. Jimmy G was a 2nd round pick. I'm
just saying it's hard. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around investing in a small school quarterback.
It's not a small school quarterback. It's Duke, but it's not.
Dude, they don't play. Who they play? Eastern Kentucky.
They play
Clemson. ACC in football. Besides Clemson is just a mess.
It's ugly.
That's what I mean. And Duke's not a football school.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that right now.
I don't know. I don't believe in Daniel Jones, but the Giants just take too many risks, too crazy risks. Eric Flowers hasn't worked. The offensive line, they have struggled.
Eric Flowers to the Dolphins, though.
That's the thing. Okay, about that pickup.
30 million, Spencer.
Fucking terrible offensive tackle. He's fucking putrid. But he's
put him at guard. He's good.
A good offensive guard. I'm not saying he's great. Well, he's good. I'm not saying he's 3. He's not 3 years, $30 million. But he's good. And
nowadays, everybody's 3 years, $30 million.
And if you look at it, we did draft 6 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So
dude, your offensive line just went from literally the worst in the league to probably top 6th, probably upper half of the league, just because of how many you have.
Yeah,
literally, Flores is probably going to put all 30 of them in a room and just make them block each other.
You hear that we're calling up the Patriots for Joe Thuney?
Yeah, I kind of hope we trade him now at this point. He's just not signing the franchise tender, and it's we can get a 2nd round pick for him. I'm down. I'm game.
I mean, we already got the Greek
cap hit right now. It's crazy.
We already got the Greek Freak.
So that's where I'm not happy. I would have, if we could have re-signed Teddy, we would have been fine. But we let him go too, and now it's if we trade Joe, we did just draft a guard from Michigan, but he was a 5th round pick.
Who traded for Trent Richardson or Trent?
The 49ers. Like they need any more offensive linemen.
Well, because Joe Staley retired.
Which is true.
So that's what happened.
Yeah,
It worked good. All of a sudden, Staley retires, and it's like, well, now we needed a left tackle badly. Trent Williams for a third and a fifth rounder.
That's good. I was thinking Raiders. All right, and I was thinking shitty running backs. I was in my head. I don't know. I don't know why I said Trent Richardson.
I'm trying to think.
Richardson was a good call running back.
What?
Vikings were good. I think Vikings had a good draft. I think the Cowboys had a good draft.
Anytime you get CeeDee Lamb at 18,
Bills had a good draft.
Bills, oh yeah, dude. AJ Epineza in the second round is a steal and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Jake Fromm in the fifth round to back up Josh Allen. It's not bad either.
Browns didn't have a bad
Broncos
draft.
had a good draft.
They did too. They got the tackle from Alabama, right? What's his name? Jedrick Wills.
Yeah, the Browns got him and Grant Delpit.
Mm-hmm. That's the Grant Delpit fell too. That was a big draft pick. Patriots could have had him. Decided to take Kyle Duggar. Not mad, just questioning it.
And then in the second round, the Giants take a safety that can't tackle.
Oh yeah, I know.
They took the dude from Alabama. He cannot.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney. Yeah, that was. I actually don't hate McKinney, but yeah,
He's good in coverage, but he cannot tackle.
Whatever.
Chargers. I love the Kenneth Murray pick. I wish New England. I was asked Spencer.
Chargers, baby.
I was so happy. I'm like, we're taking Murray.
Yeah, he texted me, we're taking Kenneth Murray. And then all of a sudden you traded the pick, and they took Kenneth Murray.
We literally, essentially, we traded Josh Oosh and Kyle Duggar for Kenneth Murray.
Yeah. I actually, again, I don't mind the Patriots draft. I think I like half the draft. I like Josh Uche from Michigan. I like Inferne Jennings from Alabama. And I like Devin Asiasi from UCLA. I don't love Dalton Keene. And our kicker is already a problem.
What does he have on his body that he has to get removed?
So it's like a white supremacist tattoo. It's like for the 3%ers. It's about like basically anarchist. I don't know. He says that he thought it was a military thing because his dad was in the military, so he thought it was like a military tattoo. Said he didn't find out until draft night what it actually meant. That's bullshit. There's no way you just went to a tattoo parlor and says, "Give me this."
It's for the army.
It's a bull. It was like a bull with like some sort of symbols on it, and it's kind of hard to say. There's no way that's not a generic tattoo. That's a very specific tattoo. I just can't imagine you being like, I have no clue what this is, but put it on me, baby. He's apparently having surgery to get it removed, but not a good start.
Not a good start, but hey, it's better than Gostowski.
He's got a cool name, Rohrwasser, but yeah, not great.
You guys see a guy. Last name kickers.
We just got. It's always got to be complicated. Has to be. It's part of the Vinatieri, Gostkowski, Rohrwasser.
If they don't shrink the letters on the wording on the back of the jersey, it's not a kicker.
Don't want him. He's not the one for us. That's why Mike Nugent just didn't fit.
Yep.
Nugent just isn't a Patriot kicker. Trying to think. Any other draft comments you guys had? Who's your biggest winner of the draft? Biggest winner, biggest loser. I think we all say Packers are the biggest loser, but who's the biggest winner?
Probably the Bengals.
I mean, Joey Burrow. And they got T. Higgins second round, too. So, Joey Burrow, listen, I'm worried the Bengals are going to mess him up, but he's got something to play with over there, some weapons. He's got A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, John Ross, and T. Higgins are his four receivers.
And Joe Mixon out of the backfield.
I mean, that's not –
I don't understand how they had such a bad record.
They were tanking.
They tanked.
Hard.
Period.
Tanked heavily.
People say that's a competition. Hey, Joe Burrow and Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter Joe Burrow was like, I think one report said like, Joe Burrow will have a chance to win the starting job or fight for it. No shit. Like, you're gonna go with Andy Dalton again? Why? It's not like you're gonna put Joe Burrow in a situation like I would understand if the Bengals had no weapons at all, and you'd be throwing Joe Burrow in an offense where he's throwing to nobody. He's had no running back. He's got a good running back, 4 solid receivers. The offensive line's better. What do you need to bench him for?
The only time you're gonna start Andy Dalton is on Thursday nights when the hair's glowing in the night. The red top,
the red hot jerseys.
The red hot jerseys.
I feel bad for Andy Dalton. I kind of wish he got traded to a team to start, but there's just no teams that need a quarterback right now.
Dalton in New England.
I wanted Andy Dalton in New England, but Bill Belichick was just like, nope, we're good. Sad. But one last thing on football before we move on to the Last Dance. I'm finally ready to join Goodell in the suspend Brady movement.
Suspend Brady movement.
So Tom Brady, I hate how this happened. So Brady, when he's in New England, every little thing the guy did was under scrutiny from the league. Every single thing. If he took a shit, the NFL was like, we got to make sure, we got to measure the size of it to make sure he's not on steroids or something. The NFL hated him for everything he did. Now he's in Tampa Bay. He's breaking and entering. He's breaking NFL rules. He's doing all this stuff, and no one bats an eye. And it's just kind of pissing me off a little bit.
Because everybody's just rooting against New England.
It's true. It's New England bias. I just don't get it. Tom Brady, so the breaking and entering story, he accidentally went into the wrong house and entered somebody's house, some stranger's house, looking for his offensive coordinator, when the NFL made it very clear that during coronavirus, you're not allowed to go meet with your coaches or talk or in person with your coaches and stuff. So,
maybe Tommy wasn't actually – well, he didn't – well, so he didn't come in contact with his offensive coordinator.
No, he did eventually afterwards, but –
how do you know?
Because he said he did. Tom Brady himself. I'm just saying, why isn't Goodell coming down on Brady? I think Brady should be suspended. He's a double offender, so 16 games. Bam, season over.
My goodness. Honestly, I could probably play quarterback in Tampa right now and win 12 games. So,
people are way too high on Tampa Bay. Way too high on them.
I'm high on their offense.
I'm not supposed to be talking about them right now.
Why?
On the last episode, I made a deal with Logan. I will not be watching any Tampa Bay Buccaneers games this year at all. Not a single second of film on the Bucs. Also, I'm not allowed to be talking about the Bucs, so I kind of already broke the rules. I'm not supposed to comment on anything the Bucs do this year.
So listen, you're trying to. I just have one thing. You're trying to tell me that people are too high on Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
They're too high on them.
The Bucs defense still isn't that good. Brady's old. Gronk hasn't been in the league in a year, and he's old. And he's a walking injury waiting to happen. There's no guarantee. Brady's played for one coach and one team his entire career. There's no guarantee he'll go there and just automatically from the rip.
Dominate. So what you're saying is Brady's Brady because the coach.
No. I'm just saying I don't think the Bucs are like I posted on Twitter a list of teams I think will make the playoffs, and I didn't have the Bucs on that list, and I got some fire for that one. I don't think they're a playoff team.
Why?
Because number one, the Bucs have arguably the toughest schedule in the NFL by far. They play in one of the toughest divisions, and my thing is, by the time they get going,
toughest divisions.
They got to play the Saints twice. The Saints are probably the best team in the NFC. The
Saints are the best team. They're the best roster in the NFL.
The Bucs do?
No, the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They drafted a center in the first round.
Huh?
They drafted a center in the first round. That literally goes to show that they don't need anything.
Yeah. The Saints, they got to play them twice a year. They got to play the Falcons twice a year, I know they're the Falcons, but Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley. I mean, that's still an offense they got to worry about. And on defense, they're still okay. And then the Panthers, okay, there's not much to worry about. But they got to play the Chiefs this year.
You never know about the Panthers.
But that's the thing. Christian McCaffrey, Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, young defense.
I'm going to just start gassing up every team we talk about.
Really, I'm just saying, though, then the Bucs got to play the Chiefs. They got to play the Broncos. They got to play the Chargers.
The Broncos. People are too high on the Broncos is what people are too high on.
They got to play the Vikings. They got to play the Packers. They got to play the Lions and Bears. They got to play –
how many wins do you think the Broncos will have?
9.
Can I smash the under?
Go ahead if you want to.
I want to make a formal bet right now.
What? Okay. Take the Charger bias out of it for a second. Why do you think the Broncos are overhyped?
Because Drew Lock is their quarterback. I don't hate the kid Drew Lock, but he's just not going to go into the Chargers division where they have arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL. And they're not going to beat the Chiefs once. And
Yeah.
they're going to lose to Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, but they are. They're probably going to lose to the Raiders once.
No.
I don't think they win 9 games. I'd smash the under.
I don't know. I just think they have a top 10 defense and a young offense that's fast and explosive.
Melvin Gordon. He's a bum. We don't talk about
They have Philip Lindsay too.
We don't talk about Melvin.
Their third string running back, Royce Freeman, I'm pretty sure had 10 total touchdowns last year. He's their third string running back.
Congrats. You got in the end zone.
Is that the point of the game? Is that the object of why you're playing is to get in the end zone?
I mean, but if you get in the end zone and you're on the 1 yard line, it's and you're big, and you're that big. It's not the tough.
Let's look at Seattle. Look how that went out.
They threw the ball. Let's not talk about a Patriots ring. That's not what we're reverting to at the moment.
Did Seattle draft offensive line?
Huh?
Did Seattle draft offensive line?
Who did Seattle take? They didn't draft an offensive lineman in the first round. I know that for a fact.
I don't know who's. Honestly, I can't remember who. Did Seattle even have a first round pick?
They did.
They did, like 29, like right after the Packers.
Oh, they took a linebacker.
Oh, they took that Texas Tech linebacker.
Yeah, Jordan. Was it Brooks?
Yeah, that led the.
Oh yeah.
They didn't take an offensive guard until the 3rd round. They took Damian Lewis from LSU.
They just don't care about Russell Wilson.
They're like,
he
can run out of the pocket. He's mobile. He'll be fine.
I know.
Russell Wilson's also,
they don't want him to protect him a little bit.
he's also the second best player in the NFL.
Who is number 1?
Patrick
Mahomes.
All right, good. I just want to make sure no one said Lamar Jackson.
No, Lamar Jackson is in top 5 NFL player.
I agree. He's not. He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Nah, name 5 better quarterbacks.
All right, real quick before we get into the documentary, I give you my top 5 quarterbacks. Ready? This is in order. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott.
Okay, you want to kick the next 3 to the curb.
What do you mean?
Because Drew Brees is 3.
No, he's old. He's older. I'm taking Watson, Wentz, and Prescott over Drew Brees right now.
You want to hear my top 5?
Not really, but you can tell me it.
Okay. No, it's fine, I guess.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What's your top 5?
I can't believe you put Wentz at 3.
Have you watched? Nobody watches the guy play. He's magical. When he's on the football field, he's healthy.
I put the Eagles game all the time, and I see some random ass dude playing quarterback half the time.
All right, if you go to 2018 that's fine. But like last year, did you not see against Atlanta the ball where he was basically on his knees, like an awkward body, just whipped it sidearm on his knees down and hit a pass clutch in the 4th quarter? That's Carson Wentz. He's just the magic man.
Whoa. Wait a second.
People call Ryan Fitzpatrick the magic man, but I think
You want to hear my top 5 quarterbacks?
Sure.
We got Mahomes, of course.
Obviously.
Mahomes, Wilson,
Okay.
Breeze, Stafford, Jackson.
You're high on Stafford, dude.
Very high on Stafford.
Matt Stafford is the 3rd best quarterback in the National Football League.
4th.
4th? Even that. I like Matt Stafford, and he is good, but come on.
Okay. How old is he? I hope he's 31 or 30.
He's like 30. No, there's no way he's 31. There's no possible way he's 31. Spencer, what's your top 5?
My top 5?
Yeah.
Obviously, the first 2 are the first 2, but
He's
my
32.
third. What?
Matt Stafford's 32.
My 3rd is Watson. My 4th is probably Dak Prescott, and then my 5th is
Say it.
who? As of right now, or like
right now. We're not talking about. No, you can't put Tua there.
Lamar Jackson. No, because I was about to put Teddy Bridgewater there because I think he's about to have a fucking crazy-ass season.
You're not putting Carson Wentz. We have the same top 5 except
Wentz isn't top 10.
Wow.
I can name 10 better. Tannehill's better than Wentz. He had a better year than Wentz. Tannehill had a better year than Wentz. That's like factual in like every category. Okay, move on. Last dance.
Take it back.
I'm not taking that back. Dude, Aaron Rodgers is better than Wentz too.
No, that I already put John in his place on that one.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, Wentz is way too high on, and yeah.
I'm not gonna pull up the numbers right now. I'll have them ready for the next time we talk.
I do want to talk about.
Let me just throw it out there. You know, maybe it's in our chat. Maybe I saved it when I schooled John on this because John made the same argument. Let me see if it's still there. I don't think it is.
Why are you so high on Wentz?
No, it's not there. Because I think he has the potential to be the best quarterback, not named Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson. I think he is the best quarterback, not named Mahomes or Wilson.
Okay, I think Matt Ryan is better than Carson.
He has no weapons. Like he had better numbers than Rodgers, and Rodgers had more to work with.
Rodgers had more to work with.
Who did Carson Wentz have? At least Rodgers had Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones.
The best tight end in the NFL, and Alshon Jeffrey.
He barely even played.
Devontae Adams barely even played.
Yeah,
Devontae Adams played 12 games.
Huh?
Devontae Adams last year played 12 games.
How many did Alshon play?
I think he played like 9.
Wow, 3 less games.
That's a big difference in the National Football League, Spencer. There's only 16 games. It's almost half the season.
Stats-wise, it's not that big. Stats-wise, for a quarterback, it's not that big.
Alshon Jeffrey, listen, it wasn't just Alshon Jeffrey, too. I mean, he lost everybody. Deshaun Jackson played 2 games last year. I'm trying to find
Deshaun Jackson's 36.
He's still good. And that's his number 2 weapon. So, again, if you want to talk about weapons, it's his number 2 receiver was a 36-year-old man.
Who's Aaron Rodgers' number 2 receiver? Geronimo Allison?
And he's not bad.
Not bad.
If I asked you in 2018 who Geronimo Allison was, would you say a Packers wide receiver or would you say a fucking explorer?
Packers wide receiver.
You'd probably say an explorer that fucking found Haiti.
No, you don't forget a name like Geronimo Allison. All right, moving on. The Last Dance. Episodes 3 and 4 were on Sunday. It's still – I get goosebumps watching it. Watching Michael Jordan go to work. Watching the Bulls in general go to work. What were you guys' biggest takeaways? Spencer kind of fell asleep in the 4th episode, so I don't need
I told you I don't need a Phil Jackson episode.
It honestly wasn't even that much of a Phil Jackson episode. It was more about the Bulls overcoming the Pistons and winning their first championship. By the way,
listen. What I don't like about this, I love The Last Dance, but what I don't like is these LeBron stands on Twitter during The Last Dance.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
This is where, yeah, exactly. Their only argument, right, is that Michael Jordan couldn't win
without Pippen.
Couldn't win without crackheads, right? He his first 3 seasons, he just came out and said that they're doing lines of cocaine and they're smoking weed before games and like that's all they cared about. Who the fuck's supposed to win with that?
Yeah.
You can't single man bully a team into like an NBA finals.
You can't. Nobody's ever done it. Literally, nobody. Not LeBron James. Not anybody. That one year LeBron made it to the finals when he was like what was the year?
In 07. It was like his 4th year.
Like his 4th year. I mean, he still had Tassos. Let him know who he still had on the team.
He had the Drews.
I mean, he wasn't doing it with like 4 crackheads.
All right, Larry Hughes
was an all-star. Mo Williams
Larry
was an
Hughes
all-star.
was didn't they trade like a first-round pick for Larry Hughes?
Yeah, I think so. He had. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here, and that's one thing I can't like go against LeBron. That team wasn't great, but it's also not. It's not. Let's not act like he went in there with J.R. Smith and Norris Cole. Like those were all guys who were off the bench guys during his runs. But the argument that he can't win without Pippen, Look at all LeBron's 3 rings. Tell me who's there for all 3 of Dwayne Wade was there for 2 of them, and Kyrie was there for 1 of them. Has he ever won a championship without either Kyrie
like I
or
said,
Dwayne Wade?
LeBron's rosters where he's won the NBA Finals are light years better than
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Mario Chalmers, who's a solid player.
And Ray Allen bailed all of them out.
And Ray Allen.
Udonis Haslem was a solid role player.
And
Mike Miller. I mean, you will go through those rosters. That's why I hate when they're like LeBron can do it with anybody. Dude, when he wins, he's got at least 1 or 2. Even in Cleveland, he had Kevin Love and Kyrie.
And Tristan Thompson's a solid big man.
Yeah, now obviously with the whole Kardashian curse, he kind of fell apart. But prior to hooking up with KK, Khloe Kardashian, he was a solid role player.
Who?
Tristan Thompson.
Tristan Thompson is a great. He was like when they won the NBA Finals, he was averaging like 13 rebounds a game.
Yeah, he was a huge part of that championship run. Actually, you can make the argument he was more important to that championship run than Kevin Love was. Let's
not even start about that championship run though, because it only happened because Draymond Green was suspended, and I'm not going to sit here and.
It's true.
I'm not going to sit here and bash LeBron for his best ring because I'm biased. I'm not going to lie. So
Draymond. I mean, if Draymond doesn't kick him in the nuts, the Warriors won that championship. But that's besides the point. I'm just saying, like, the LeBron fans who were like, oh, the Bulls he had Scottie, the Hall of Famer. So is Dwayne Wade not a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, and Scott, like everybody's saying, oh, Phil Jackson said Scottie Pippen was the second best player in the league. What's he supposed to say?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, I know he said that. I don't think Scottie Pippen was ever the second best player in the National Basketball Association.
No.
In the 80s? Who got fucking drafted at 1 in Jordan's draft?
Yeah.
You think he wasn't the best? He won 2 rings when Jordan wasn't in the league.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people are like, can we just forget that Hakeem Olajuwon existed or Karl Malone or John Stockton?
I can't even say his name right now because that's how flustered I am. Scottie Pippen was not the second best player in the league.
It's just Phil Jackson saying I'm gonna rock my guys.
Yeah, exactly, and no big deal about that.
No,
it's the LeBron fans who took it so literally, who were like, oh, he said Scottie Pippen's the second best player. LeBron had never had the second best player in the league. It's like if LeBron played with Kevin Durant. Not the same.
What I find crazy is I see all these videos on Twitter, and it's
what? You go ask anybody from the Heat organization, right? Who was the second best player in the league when LeBron went on a championship run? You don't think they say Dwayne Wade?
Yeah, they literally will say Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
They will. Or they might even say Chris Bosh.
Even in Cleveland, they would say Kyrie Irving's the second best player in the league.
But we all know Curry was the best player in the league when that happened.
Yeah.
But anyways, I see videos.
I can't completely, I've been going after LeBron and LeBron fans because, I've been using the Jordan doc as a little more ammo in my gun against LeBron, but
I just don't understand. I'm not saying who's the GOAT. I could give 2 fucks because I said I wasn't gonna have this. I said I wasn't gonna have this GOAT talk after my man Kobe Bryant passed away. I said I wasn't gonna get into these arguments. I swore to it
too, but let's be real.
I swore to it.
No way I was ever gonna stop. I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to it.
You could argue Kobe's greater than Bron before you could argue Bron's greater than Jordan.
Kobe had a lot of help to win those rings.
But listen to me. Kobe Bryant got snubbed of 4 MVPs. All right, granted, his first 3 rings, he had a lot. He had Shaq carried. But you take away those first 3 rings, and then you compare him to LeBron, and it's only 2 versus 3 rings.
And I mean, Pau Gasol is a Hall of Famer, but it's not like Pau Gasol was Shaq.
Yeah,
you're not going around and saying that. Who's like Pau? Yeah,
I think the last 2 rings Kobe won in 2009 and 2010 were more impressive.
100%.
First 3
for Kobe. For
Kobe, yeah, because in the first 3 he had Shaq. Not only that, it's who they beat too. They beat the 2010 Celtics with the big 3 and Rondo and Perkins, and although.
Yeah. And listen,
don't want to shut on Kobe's legacy, but if Perkins doesn't tear his ACL in Game 6, the Celtics win the championship.
That is the truth. That is
with Andrew Bynum as his center.
Yeah. And that world piece was their number.
Andrew Bynum was 280 pounds at Like that, all that dude knew how to do was eat. And I'm not
Meta
talking
World, like I said, Meta World Peace was like their third best player. Ron Artest. I mean,
Ron Artest, Derek Fisher when he was 34, 35.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like to me, it's more impressive what they were able to accomplish for Kobe later on. The first three, like I said, you got Shaq.
Kobe was really good when he was in his prime.
Yeah. I just, like I said, watching the Jordan documentary, it just brings up more and more, like, I just don't think LeBron has the competitive fire like Jordan had. Like,
Jordan's win or lose. The only thing he concentrated on after, you could argue, his first couple of years was winning, which I don't think Jordan really
concentrated. To this day, still hates Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. Like, he with a passion. You could tell on his face. That dude hates the Pistons, and he hates Isaiah Thomas. So this is 30 years later. He still holds grudges over those games.
Yeah. Also, LeBron James, without modern technology and modern fitness and all this shit, would not be the same size in the 80s as he is now.
That's the one thing I hate about that argument of like, oh, obviously, if you took LeBron James right now and just dropped him in the 80s, of course he'd dominate because no one lifted weights in the 80s.
No, they did.
Well, not like they do now.
Like they don't have like
cryo chambers and to calculate how you're breathing when you run on the treadmill.
Bro, LeBron literally got put in the suit so he could like breathe a lot better. He literally was in the offseason. He goes in like a suit for an hour and meditates and sleeps so he can breathe better in games. Like, that's just insane. Michael Jordan didn't do nothing but stay in a gym all day and shoot.
Dennis Rodman went to Vegas for 4 days straight on a bender with Carmen Electra and went to practice the next day. I mean,
yeah. It was completely different worlds in 1990 than it was in 2019.
But that's the thing is, like, if you put Michael Jordan now, you don't think Jordan wouldn't take advantage of the same thing?
But the thing with that, you can't argue all this stuff, new decades, and say he's better than this. It's so hard to argue players in different decades. You can argue players in the same decade, but it's so hard to say, oh, Larry Bird wouldn't be good in today's NBA. Like, obviously, like, no offense to Larry Bird, but he wouldn't be as dominant as he was in 1985. And he'd still be good, but he wouldn't be Larry Bird good.
No, I don't know. Larry would find a way.
But my point is, it's so. But if you put them back in 1985, you don't have. You're just not exposed to the same things.
That's like dropping if we dropped Steph Curry back in 1985 and he was just chucking from full court all the fucking time, he would be dominant. They'd be like, holy fucking shit, this is witchcraft. They'd probably hang him in Boston. So like,
whoa. Why Boston?
We know why Boston, but we're not going to discuss it.
But I'm just saying, if you took Aaron Rodgers and dropped him into 1970 football, they would have no fucking clue what's going on.
He get killed. Forget
oh my God, dude, why'd you say Aaron Rodgers, dude?
Okay, if you took Patrick Mahomes and put him in 1960s football, they would have no idea what the fuck is going on.
You can't argue decades. You just can't.
It's tough.
It's just stupid.
Like I said, I just watching the documentary more and more. It just makes me more and more realize
technology evolves.
The only thing you're not allowed to say if you put him in this decade and you put him like the end of discussion, you're done. We're done. Like, I was arguing with a bunch of people, and they're like, if you put Bron on the 1990 Bulls, he's gonna just win 10 rings in a row. Like, dude, what?
No, that's the dumb. I hate when people bring that argument up. But like I said, to me, like, even just like watching that episode where Jordan, when he played with a broken foot, and like a week after returning from a broken foot, he dropped 63 in the playoffs against the Celtics as a second-year player. It's just stuff like that where it's like, I just don't see if LeBron breaks his foot, he's done. Like I said,
LeBron hurts his quad, he's done. He's done.
I never saw Michael Jordan after a loss in the play. When he got beat by the Pistons, I didn't see him come out with a little cast on his hand saying, yeah, by the way, during that whole series, the Bad Boys, yeah, I had like a broken ligament in there. Just didn't want to tell you all.
Yeah.
This is not how Jordan was.
I'm not taking away from Bron's greatness. He's a great basketball player. He's probably going to be the best basketball player that I ever see in my lifetime.
Chill.
Have you not been watching Steph Curry?
No. Let's not go there. But there'll be somebody better than Bron in your lifetime, I promise.
Well, that's how everything is. As time goes on, you'll find. Although
2015.
We'll see a better quarterback than Tom Brady in your lifetime?
We already are. We're exposed to Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, we are exposed to Patrick Mahomes.
There is no next in line for Tom Brady. Tom Brady's a one.
Mahomes is like 24 with 1 ring.
Okay.
I'm just so my head's still in the decade thing. Imagine throwing Randy Johnson in like 1930s baseball.
Yeah, dude. Like that is the stupidest.
It's the dumbest fucking argument of all time. Like those dudes are probably pitching mid-60s, and you throw Randy Johnson in, who's touching 97 in the 7th inning. Like they would have no fucking clue what's going on.
Put Mike Trout in the 1920s, dude. When he hits the ball.
Mike Trout. What is that like? Mexican Southern Texas league. They did like a simulation of what would happen if Mike Trout was in that league, and it was like you go seasons with like 120 home runs and shit like that.
Yeah. Like that shit.
Dropping people into different decades is just the dumbest argument I've ever seen because there's so many different factors. The way the game was played, the way athletes were. You can't argue that.
No. I can argue that Michael Jordan's mindset is far more competitive than LeBron James's mindset.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I love is seeing. I love seeing how Michael Jordan was as a leader and how like I said, seeing the behind the scenes how he was to the guys, which is insane. Like it's just insane to see his work ethic, how he treated the team, how he treated himself. Like crazy. He had a drive like only Kobe, I feel like, can compare to. Like LeBron doesn't have that work ethic. That I want to be the best, and I'm gonna kill all you guys when I walk on this court. Like that's the mentality Jordan had. LeBron just comes up and starts hugging people and dapping up, and hey, we're going out for dinner after the game. Like that wasn't. I mean, yes, Jordan did go golfing with Danny Ainge before the playoffs, but
only tell him he's gonna score 63 tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's just Jordan. But all right, I'm trying to think now back to the episode because now here's the thing. All 4 episodes just kind of blend together. I'm trying to remember specifically episodes 3 and 4. Oh, so Rodman. So that was kind of the focus. Rodman and the Bad Boy Pistons were kind of the focus of these 2 episodes.
Yes.
And, I know one thing I wanted to bring up. I said it in our group chat. I felt so bad for Doug Collins. And you can tell Doug Collins is still pissed. All these years later, he's still livid that the Bulls fired him after
the Eastern Conference Finals to one of the best teams ever assembled.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say the best teams ever assembled. The hardest, like I don't know, like
they did whatever they
wanted.
wanted.
One of the best defensive teams ever.
The best.
Well, the 04-05 Pistons might have a word with you on that one.
The best.
Yeah. Just one of the great, like toughest matchups to play. One of the toughest places to play. Like they weren't the most athletically gifted or talented.
Literally murder people in 1990.
But you're going up for a layup, you're getting an uppercut to the face by Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, he was a big boy. Like I said, I felt bad because you even saw, like when I saw Doug Collins now and they asked him about the firing, he goes, "I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up. No, I'm not going to talk about it." You can definitely tell that guy was. I mean, I would be too. And I compared it to like how the Warriors when they fired Mark Jackson before they brought in Steve Kerr. Does Nolan know he's muted?
No, I think is Nolan muted?
Yes, I was muted for a second. Somebody FaceTimed me. My fault.
No.
But some shit it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if you think Phil Jackson is a better fit, has a better scheme, and will lead you to the next step, you got to go with it. I think.
Yeah.
Because Phil Jackson got Rodman, and then Rodman got them over. Well,
Jerry Krause, listen, the first episodes, all people did was shit on Jerry. You got to give the guy credit. I mean, to go ahead and fire Doug Collins after he takes you to the Eastern Conference Finals for Phil Jackson, a guy who had never coached as a head coach before. The ballsy move, but it worked. Same thing with Rodman.
He was high, and they had to tell him how to dress and shit like this.
Yeah.
Like Phil Collins, Jesus.
Phil Collins.
Phil Jackson. I put Doug Collins and Phil
Feel it
Jackson together.
coming in the air tonight.
And Michael Jordan even said that he loved Doug Collins.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Jordan, they even said in the documentary when they talked about Phil Jackson, Jordan even said, like, I wasn't a Phil Jackson guy. It's not like I was a Doug Collins guy.
Because Doug Collins ended up coaching Michael Jordan in Washington when he came back for 2 years.
Well, Doug Collins was the guy, even Jordan said it, Doug Collins was the guy who kind of matched his competitive fire, like, to win. Like, Doug Collins was the coach for, like, you saw Doug Collins in his first game of the Bulls, like, sweating, like, looked like he had just played a game. Like, Doug Collins was the coach that Jordan wanted. And like I said, it's kind of interesting to think what would have happened had he stayed.
But he said that, like, Doug Collins would put the ball in his hands when Phil Jackson was like, it's a team thing.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting is, like, had Doug Collins stayed, what happens? I still think they eventually win a ring, but obviously Phil was the right move.
Told you.
Krause was not as bad as it looked.
No, I mean, he still looks like a jerk. He comes off as a big jerk, but he I mean, you can't deny the guy was smart with some things, like adding Dennis Rodman, knowing his history with Michael Jordan, like with the Bad Boy Pistons, like beating the hell out of him, knowing how crazy Rodman was, like to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to bring this guy in.
And Pippen was
Huh?
No, nothing. I was going to say something, but never mind.
It's just like I said. It's just Jerry Krause deserves a little bit more credit. I'm happy that they're finally – like I said, it is funny when they shit on Jerry, but at the same time, it's nice to see them give a little bit of credit to a guy who, at the end of the day, was smart for a lot of things. I mean, you got to give him credit, but, yeah, obviously later on, Jerry Krause got a little bit stupid with the you can go 82-0, and I'll still not bring you back. I'm interested to see where the relationship falls apart because if you watch episodes 3 and 4, you can tell that Krause had, like, him and Phil Jackson were close friends. Like, MJ obviously still didn't love him, but there wasn't, like, a hate there. Like, in the 97, 98, when they flash forward, you can tell they hate that guy. Like, they did not care if he dropped dead or not. But it's kind of interesting to see. I want to see where it went, like, where it broke, where everyone started hating Jerry. If it was 97, if it was sooner than that.
Yeah.
He had to make some move that we don't know about, or it was definitely the whole thing about trading Scotty and
the whole it was definitely about Scotty's contract.
It had to be.
I think that's the.
But what are you gonna?
Dude, we got fucking 6 more episodes. I had no idea it was gonna be fucking.
Yeah, that's the thing. We got a lot more to go. I'm excited.
I saw that one either episode 5 or 6 is a Kobe tribute.
Yeah, well, I think Kobe, I don't think that was necessarily the plan in the beginning, but obviously after everything happened with Kobe, you got to have – but, like, I'm happy we're getting it just because I feel like everyone says, like, LeBron and MJ. I feel like the only player you can compare to MJ is Kobe. I think they're the two players who are, like, the most similar.
Yeah.
Their style of play and the position – even the position is the same as, like, a two-guard role.
A little bit of closer time periods.
They actually played in the same time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's if you're going to compare legends, MJ and Kobe, you can put like when you want to say who's up there with MJ, like Kobe, like him and Kobe were like Kobe was like the second coming of MJ.
I agree. I saw a video of Kevin Durant. He was talking about like they asked him who he thought his top 5 players were. He says he doesn't really have a top 5, but like his top 2 are just MJ and Kobe, and it was like recent.
Yeah,
he was like, "There's never been 2 guys as good as basketball as Kobe and MJ."
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say also about the documentary, I'm starting to get tired of the timeline. In the first 2 episodes, it was fine, like how they show you 97, 98, and they jump back to the past. And then they finished the episode 97, 98. It worked for the first 2 episodes. Now it's just getting annoying. It's like just either pick a time. I kind of wish they did the first 5 episodes were the past, and then the last 5 episodes were 97, 98, because it's confusing. Because all of a sudden you're watching a scene from 1990 where the Bulls are playing the Pistons, and then immediately they cut, and you're watching the 98 Bulls in January. I'm like,
yeah, it's a little weird.
It's a little, like, kind of confusing. I kind of wish they had a little bit more structure.
There's 10 total, right?
Yeah, my prediction when this started was that after like episode 5 or 6, the rest of it would just be the 97, 98. But now I don't know. It might just be this way the whole 10 episodes. I kind of hope not. Because I like seeing the more, like the 97. The 97, 98 stuff is supposed to be what the documentary is about. That's why it's called The Last Dance.
And
you got to give that background.
I like the footage. I like the actual footage of him being behind the scenes and like what they actually fucking filmed the documentary for. Not all this random stuff that they're just getting off like YouTube. Well,
I don't know if you saw, some of these interviews aren't even for this documentary.
Yeah, like the Jerry Krause interview.
Yeah, like even the Isaiah Thomas stuff. That's not for this. That was for the Bad Boys sports. Remember the ESPN did the 30 for 30 on the Bad Boys? A lot of that from episodes 3 and 4, like 25% of that footage is from another documentary.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, I understand that they're trying to put like background to the story and stuff and different views, but like there's no shot that Isaiah Thomas would ever talk in a Michael Jordan documentary.
Mm-mm. Yeah, like I said, the only reason that's in there is because ESPN owns the rights to the Bad Boys documentary and they own The Last Dance, so they can use the footage. Like I said, I don't mind it. I enjoy seeing the past and seeing all this stuff. It's cool.
No, I liked how they had Isaiah Thomas interviewed, then Michael Jordan interviewed, and showed how much like they despised each other.
No, Isaiah's just a dick. Isaiah Thomas, honestly, like reading books on him and watching like multiple documentaries. Every NBA, I don't think there's one NBA player who has a positive, unless they play with them.
Do you think
like
that
Larry Bird doesn't have anything nice to say? Magic Johnson hasn't spoken to him in 35 years.
Do you think that any of these episodes are going to be about the 2-year break that Jordan went
on? When this thing started, I didn't think so. Now I do. There's no way. So it looks like they're going from 1984. Eventually, they're going to meet up with the present, I guess, 97, 98. I feel like eventually you're going to have to cover the 2-year break.
You can't just not touch on it. You can't just go from 94 to 96.
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to do all the past stuff, you got to touch on it. You can't have it both ways. You can't do all the past stuff and not cover one of the most controversial things ever and then jump to 98.
I wonder if we'll get the true story.
You'll never get maybe when Jordan gets older, maybe, but I doubt you're gonna get the truth. You'll get more information than before, but I doubt, because I feel like there might be something behind the scenes a lot crazier than you think. I don't know. I just kind of want more 97, 98 stuff. Like
I feel like they had like just enough footage to have half the thing be 97, 98.
Probably. That's what it feels like. They didn't have enough. They tried to make it seem like, all these lost archive footage. And they're only showing us a couple scenes. But they're so funny. The funniest scenes from this documentary are the archive. So, I don't know. Spencer fell asleep during this part. There's a part where they're on the plane, and I think the guy's name is Scott Burrell.
Yeah, I saw it on a bar stool. Like he says, like, "Oh, your mom was gonna find out you're an alcoholic." That part, right?
Yeah, him and Jordan are sitting there on the plane, and they're recording him, and they're talking about like he goes, if you're Scotty's girlfriend, and he says that he's coming home late, trust me, he ain't out with the boys, he out with the girls, and he's like basically like roasting. He's like, oh come on, my parents are gonna see this. He goes, hey, Mrs. Burrell, your son's an alcoholic. And they were saying, like, I saw Barstool too. They were saying, like, even it must be so uncomfortable for these former Bull guys to sit with their family, the guys who were doing cocaine in like '84, and they're sitting there with their families and stuff. And it's like, wait a second, you played with the Bulls in 1984, didn't you? You used to hang out at that hotel, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Shit, I bet you they've told them. If I'm an ex-NBA player and my wife, I bet you I'm like. Yeah, I used to do fucking coke all the time before. I mean, somebody can take this video right out of context.
Spencer Molk, breaking news, Spencer Molk, cocaine addict.
Cocaine addict before NBA games that he used to play in, apparently, in the 84 Bulls team.
All right. Any last thoughts on The Last Dance, episodes 3 and 4?
No.
I just
Oh no,
wish.
but I find it funny about how Rodman pulled all those girls that he pulled.
Oh my God! It was for Carmen Electra, Madonna. Just guy. I don't know what people are into, but
Did you guys see the interview today of him with Oprah Winfrey? Like, so it got posted somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oprah was begging for him to say that he was gay.
I didn't see that. No, is that the interview? Because I've been seeing all over Twitter. There's apparently Rodman said he could guard LeBron, something like that. Is that the same?
No. It was an interview back from like '98.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was just like, "So are you positive you're not gay?" He's like, "No, I'm not gay." She's like, "Are you sure you're not gay?" He's like, "I'm not gay." But he was saying like that people in their head explore the things like they think to themselves like sometimes like you don't know. Like if you've never
You question yourself in your head like maybe I am gay. He was basically saying that. Like I've tried it.
No, he said
and then Oprah, because Oprah's looking for a story.
Yeah.
She was digging deep.
It was like a young Oprah.
Yeah. Today, I feel like that's not a move today's Oprah would do or get respected for.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is Robin was a lucky guy. Carmen Electra in the 90s. Before my time a little bit, but
Baywatch, Carmen Electra.
smoke show.
Very smoke show.
Who'd you say?
She was very smoke show, I said.
All right. Last thing, according to multiple news outlets, you might be getting sports back in May, June at the earliest. So
I didn't see that. You want to explain that to me? I didn't see that.
So it's not official. Nothing's official. The only
We're gonna play like Disneyland or something, right?
Yeah. So the only sport that's officially coming back in May is golf. Golf has a couple of tour dates that are set in May that are happening with no fans. MLB, NBA, and NHL are all talking about reshaping the leagues. So from now on, instead of having like 32, like in the NBA, how there's 30 teams, instead of having 30 different arenas to play in and conferences and blah, 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 they're going to have 4 sites, like kind of like the March Madness tournament.
Yeah.
They have 4 remote locations where the virus is like lower, so like Texas, places where the virus isn't bad. And they're going to have like all the games played in those 4 arenas. And the NBA is already allowing teams to start practicing again. So that's a positive sign that they're letting people practice. Means that there's a very good chance that the NBA could be back. I don't know if they'll do straight to the playoffs, if they'll replay the last like 20 games of the season. But it looks like NBA, I actually thought there was no shot in hell. Basketball is coming back, but now it looks like there is a slim chance it happens. Baseball is going to happen, and baseball is the same thing. They actually just released today what it would look like. Same thing. They're going to have, instead of having 4 divisions in each league, or 3 divisions in each league, they're going to cut it down to 3 divisions. So like the Yankees, Red Sox, and Mets, I think it was the Nationals, the Phillies, will all be in one division. They're basically, they don't want everyone
East Coast in one division, the whole Central in one division, and the whole West Coast is in division.
Yeah, so essentially, they're just cramming 2 divisions into one.
Yep, and you only play those teams that are in your division.
Yeah, so there's no out-of-conference games. So it's a Frankenstein league, but it's the only way I guess it's going to work because of the virus. So baseball will definitely be back by June. Basketball and hockey are iffy, but at least there's progress. It looks like we could potentially, although soccer, we're in a bad spot. Champions League, they already said the country of France already confirmed we're not allowing soccer to be played until like September, October. So same with Italy. So Champions League's a problem. We may never get to see who this year's Champions League title winner will be.
And would it?
Chelsea could have won it. We don't know. Chelsea didn't get to play the second leg.
Did you see those rumors that Aubameyang was going to get transferred to Chelsea? I know you saw.
I saw.
Yeah, but it just came out that he's going to sign on a contract extension, so I'm okay.
I know. Hey, listen, I could dream for a little bit about the England check. Not only that, because it would drive you nuts.
It would drive me insane.
The only other thing I hate about this quarantine too, we had so many bets going. We can't like make those things official because the season never finished. And you were going to be a big loser because I don't think any of your bets were hitting.
The Aubameyang goal one might have hit for.
There were
They were
soccer
close.
bets for Spence. They weren't.
The Aubameyang goal one actually surprisingly got close.
He was on track. He was on track for like 26, I think.
But the Arsenal top 4 was.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
You would have had to walk around in a Tottenham kit, full uniform. We're missing out. Even the NBA dude, too. The Lakers, had LeBron won a championship this year, the things I would have had to do.
Hey, we'll see that, though. It might come back.
We'll see. That's why part of me is like, you know what? We can just cancel it this year. It's not a big deal.
At first I was so iffy about watching basketball with no fans, but at this point I would enjoy it.
That's the thing is like that's all these sports. I feel like in the beginning it's going to I don't know. I have mixed feelings because I feel like in the beginning everyone's going to be so excited because sports are back. But part of sports is the fans. So, like, after, like, a week or two, like, baseball, the first week I'm going to watch it like crazy because it's new sports, it's live sports. But after a week, like, when people hit a home run and it's into empty nothing, like, there's no crowd, there's no cheering. You hear the pop of the bat, it goes into the outfield, and I don't know. It's going to be weird. Same thing with basketball. Like, you're just going to hear the sneakers squeaking on the court.
I think I'd still take it.
I mean, I'll take it better than nothing, but still, it's going to be weird.
Yeah. I just got this VR helmet the other day, and NBA League Pass has they put a VR camera on the side of the sideline, so it actually puts you in the stadium.
I saw that.
So if I'm watching basketball like that, and I'm at wherever the hell they're playing the basketball game, wherever they be playing it, like
Texas, probably the Maverick Stadium, stuff like that. Places where the virus isn't like crazy.
I would enjoy it if you threw it in 1,000 other people watching the game with NBA League Pass, all sitting there with their little helmets on, and they filled up the stadium to make it look like people were there.
I mean, hey, I just really want the NBA playoffs. I was watching. That's the other thing about the Jordan documentary.
This is the most competitive the NBA's ever been.
Exactly. That's the other thing with this documentary is like we're missing out on great playoffs. These playoffs would have been insane. Like
most competitive playoffs. Literally the first rounds, like some first round matchups, you're like, but in this playoff, like 1-8 in the West, like the Lakers weren't a for sure win in the 1 seed.
No, that's what I mean. It's crazy.
It was like John Morant versus LeBron.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans were fighting for a spot.
Even if the Grizzlies lose that series, it'd still be entertaining because that's just like in years past, like it wasn't even fun watching the Warriors play like the Kings or watching the Warriors play like the Pelicans.
Yeah, it was bad.
Now, like I said, this would have been the most exciting playoffs. Somebody made on Twitter a promo for the playoffs. It was like all of the highlights from this season, like how ESPN would make one. I literally got goosebumps. So I'm like, I was sitting there like ready to cry. Like, I want this. Oh my God! Just thinking about the matchups: Giannis and the Bucs, Celtics, and Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Miami felt like the East. Even the East even though the East wasn't as good.
The West would have been insane.
We're missing out. And that's the problem. Is like next year, you never know what's going to happen. So I mean, the teams could fall apart. Just missing out. But all right, that's our show for today. Thank you for watching.
Wiseman to the Warriors.
Or Giannis to the Warriors.
Isn't that another year, though? Isn't he a free agent?
Listen. So what could happen is if the Bucs feel Giannis isn't going to resign and the Warriors come in and say, hey, first overall pick, Andrew Wiggins, another first-round pick, we'll give you a couple other things. You're going to tell me you're going to let Giannis walk instead of getting that package return?
Yeah. I'd take Giannis for that. Anything but Clay and Curry, I'd give you Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're the Bucs, dude, and Giannis is leaving, you can't guarantee he's going to stay. and the Warriors offer you the number 1 pick, another first-round pick, and Andrew Wiggins, and some other role players, you're going to sit there and say no. Helps your rebuild if you lose Giannis.
They might not even need a rebuild. They use Giannis.
Well, exactly. Yeah, if they nail the draft, they get a really good pick. Wiggins could step in for Giannis, and he's not Giannis, but hey, listen, I just hope Giannis doesn't go to the Lakers. That's it. If he goes to the Lakers, I don't know. I'm in a conundrum. I'm in a pickle. I don't know what to do. Like, that's the ultimate.
A Greek in the Laker uniform.
Like, what do I do? Like, how?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think you do
That's the
anything.
thing. I've never had another, like, well, I know. I guess, like, if Tom Brady – imagine if Tom Brady hadn't gone to the Bucs and he went to, like, the Giants instead. That's kind of how it would feel. It's like my favorite player.
No, if Tom Brady didn't go to the Bucs and he went to the Packers.
That too. Yeah. If that happened, I don't know, dude. I would be depressed. Even more depressed than I am now. But
Gronk and Brady and Davis.
stop. I don't want to bring it up. All right, I'm done. Because now you're just getting me angry talking about that team. Signing off. This is the Greek Freak.
Nolan, peace out. Peace out.
Well, taking the train off the tracks. Everybody have a great night.